The enhanced games just dragged track and field into its ugliest debate yet. Fred Kerley and Marvin Bracey once helped America own the 100 meters. Now their names sit beside a drug-permitted race chasing Usain Bolt's 9.58, and the sport has to face a question it cannot outrun. In 2022, the men's 100 meters at the World Championships felt like a perfect American night. Hayward Field was loud. The meet was on United States soil for the first time. The crowd wanted a sprint moment, and the American men gave them one. Fred Kerley won gold in 9.86. Marvin Bracey Williams took silver in 9.88. Trayvon Bromell took bronze in 9.88. It was a clean sweep of the podium, and it looked like the start of something powerful. 3 Americans stood together at the top of the sprint world, and the message was simple. The United States was back in control of the 100 meters. That night matters because it makes today's story feel so strange. Kerley and Bracey were not side names. They were the front of American sprinting. They were medal winners, fast men, and faces of a strong era. But now, years later, 2 names from that same podium are connected to the enhanced games, one of the most controversial ideas track has ever seen. This is why the story feels like a disaster for the image of sprinting. It takes a proud memory from 2022 and places it next to a new event built around a rule-clean track has always fought against. The Enhanced Games is not a normal meet with a few rule changes. It is a competition where performance-enhancing drugs are allowed under its own medical system. The event says it is open, controlled, and honest. Its leaders argue that athletes should be allowed to use science to push human performance further. But track and field hears something else. It hears a sport already hurt by doping being pulled into another trust crisis. It hears banned substances turned into a selling point. It hears the fastest race in the world being used to ask one giant question: what happens when the rules are removed? The event has included sprinting, swimming, and strength events. It has offered large cash prizes and even bigger bonuses for unofficial world records. That matters because money changes the risk. Athletes who are banned, retired, or outside the normal Olympic path may see the event as a new stage. They may not need World Athletics approval if the crowd still watches. Reports around the event said many athletes used substances such as testosterone, growth hormone, EPO, and stimulants under supervision. That detail made the show even more explosive because it turned banned substances from a hidden scandal into the center of the promotion. That is the real danger. The Enhanced Games does not need to be respected by the whole sport. It only needs attention. And in modern sports, attention can turn even a bad idea into a loud one. Fred Kerley makes this whole story impossible to ignore. He is a former 100-meter world champion. He has Olympic medals. His personal best of 9.76 makes him one of the fastest men ever. When a runner like that signs up, the event stops looking like a small stunt. Kerley is also serving a 2-year ban for whereabouts failures after missing 3 out-of-competition tests. That is not the same as a positive drug test, but it is still a serious anti-doping violation. Whereabouts rules matter because testers need to find athletes without warning. If that system breaks down, trust breaks with it. Kerley has said he can challenge Bolt's record without using performance-enhancing drugs. That claim gave the Enhanced Games its biggest sprint hook. A banned sprinter running in a drug-permitted event, saying he can chase the greatest 100-meter record in history while staying clean. That is the kind of story people click even if they are angry. Then came the race. Kerley won the men's 100 meters in 9.97. It was fast, but nowhere near 9.58. It did not shake Bolt's record. It did not prove a new speed world had arrived. In a strange twist, the clean-claiming star beat a field tied to the very idea of enhancement. Marvin Bracey Williams adds a heavier side to the story. In 2022, he was the silver medalist behind Kerley at the World Championships. His 9.85 personal best shows real world-class speed. But his career later took a hard turn when he accepted a lengthy doping ban from USADA. That makes his link to the Enhanced Games different. This is not only about a fast man trying a strange new meet. It raises a bigger question. If suspended athletes can keep racing somewhere else for money and attention, what does a ban really remove? Clean sport uses bans to protect the field. The point is not only punishment, it is also trust. It tells clean athletes that rule breakers or rule violators cannot keep taking the same spotlight. But the enhanced games give some of that spotlight back. It creates a stage where the normal shame of doping can be turned into part of the show. That is why many track fans feel uneasy. Bracey was once part of a proud American sweep. Now his name helps show how quickly a clean podium story can be pulled into a darker debate. The biggest hook is still Usain Bolt's 9.58. That number is not just a world record. It is the wall every sprinter has failed to break. Bolt ran it in 2009, and nobody has come close enough to make the record feel weak. That is why the enhanced games keeps using the idea of a record chase. A regular fast time will not change the world, but a time faster than 9.58, even unofficial, would explode across social media. The record books would not accept it under World Athletics rules, but millions of people would still see the clock. That is the scary part for track. The official record may stay safe, but the public image could still be damaged. A kid might see a 9.57 graphic and not understand the rules behind it. A casual fan might only hear that someone ran faster than Bolt in an enhanced race. Once that idea spreads, it is hard to clean up. Still, there is a strong reason to doubt the hype. Doping has existed in track before, and even then, nobody has run 9.58. Drugs may help power, recovery, muscle, oxygen use, or training load, but the 100 meters is more than chemicals. It is reaction, rhythm, mechanics, weather, nerve, and rare natural speed. The enhanced games promoted extreme ideas, but the first sprint result did not match the wild promise. Kerley's 9.97 was a good run, not a record threat. Other athletes did not suddenly look like superheroes. That matters because the event's whole pitch depends on the belief that enhancement will unlock shocking times. But the human body is not a simple machine. You cannot add a substance and automatically create Bolt. Bolt's record came from a once-in-history mix of height, stride, speed, relaxation, health, competition, and perfect timing. Even with drugs allowed, that mix is not easy to copy. That does not make the event harmless. It just means the record chase may be more marketing than reality right now. The danger is not only whether someone breaks 9.58. The danger is that the chase itself makes doping look like the next chapter of sprinting. That is why the 9.97 matters. It showed the enhanced games can create noise, but noise is not the same as proof. A loud promise can sell a race. It cannot force history to happen. The enhanced games is not bigger than track and field or the Olympics. It has not produced an official sprint record, and its first big 100-meter race did not deliver a world-changing time. But ignoring it would be a mistake. It has famous names, money, and online attention. In today's sports world, that combination keeps an event alive even when results are weak. Clean track has its own problems. Many athletes feel underpaid, and some banned athletes see the enhanced games as a second market. The enhanced games may be a bad answer, but it points at real anger inside the sport. If track ignores that anger, the problem will not disappear. The next chapter will decide how big this becomes. If the enhanced games returns with more sprinters and growing prize money, the debate will get uglier. Fred Kerley proved a major name brings attention, and Marvin Bracey showed how suspended athletes become part of a new storyline.